John Perkins's seminal work, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, unveiled a disturbing and often hidden reality of global economics. It exposed a systemic mechanism designed to control and exploit developing nations. This narrative challenges the conventional understanding of international aid and development. This script delves into the intricate workings of global economic power, dissecting its methods and consequences. We will explore how powerful entities manipulate financial systems to their advantage. The aim is to illuminate the true nature of global economic relationships. At its core, our argument posits that many developing nations are not merely struggling, but are actively controlled and systematically drained. This process is not accidental. It is a deliberate strategy. It perpetuates a cycle of dependency that benefits a select few. This control is primarily orchestrated through the insidious mechanism of debt. Loans, often presented as benevolent assistance, become instruments of subjugation. They bind nations to external powers, limiting their autonomy and self-determination. A sophisticated network of powerful entities is responsible for this orchestration. This includes international financial institutions, multinational corporations, and even government agencies. Their combined influence shapes the economic destinies of entire regions. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, plays a central and often controversial role in this global economic drama. Established to foster global monetary cooperation, its actions have frequently been criticized for exacerbating the very problems it purports to solve. Its influence extends far beyond mere financial advice. Powerful American corporations are key participants in this intricate web of economic domination. These entities, often operating with significant political leverage, seek to expand their markets and secure resources. Their interests frequently align with the objectives of the debt trap. Global consulting firms also play a crucial, albeit less visible role in this process. They provide the technical expertise and strategic recommendations that facilitate the implementation of these economic agendas. Their analyses often justify policies that benefit external actors. These institutions frequently operate under the guise of providing essential aid to struggling nations. They present themselves as benevolent partners, offering solutions to poverty and underdevelopment. This narrative often masks their true intentions and impacts. They also present their actions as fostering genuine development and economic growth. The promise of modernization and prosperity is a powerful lure for nations eager to improve their citizens' lives. However, the reality often diverges sharply from these lofty promises. The primary mechanism involves extending massive loans to developing countries. These financial injections are often substantial, promising to fund critical infrastructure projects or stabilize national economies. The initial appeal of such capital is undeniable for nations in need. However, these loans are far from altruistic. They come with stringent and often punitive conditions. These conditions are meticulously crafted to serve the interests of the lenders and their corporate allies. They dictate economic policy, trade agreements, and resource allocation. Nations are frequently coerced into buying expensive infrastructure projects from U.S. companies. These projects, while sometimes necessary, are often overpriced and designed to benefit the contractors more than the recipient country. This inflates the debt burden unnecessarily. Furthermore, these nations are often forced to purchase services, technology, and expertise from U.S. companies. This creates a captive market for American businesses, ensuring their profitability regardless of the local economic impact. It stifles local competition and innovation. This entire process intentionally creates a self-perpetuating cycle of debt dependency. Nations become so deeply indebted that they cannot escape without further assistance, which only tightens the grip of their creditors. It is a deliberate strategy to maintain control. The debt trap allows the IMF and its allies to exert significant control over national policies. This influence extends to fiscal, monetary, and trade policies, effectively overriding the sovereign decisions of elected governments. It undermines democratic processes. They dictate economic reforms within these nations, often prescribing a one-size-fits-all approach. These reforms are rarely tailored to the specific needs or cultural context of the country. Instead, they reflect a globalized economic ideology. Neoliberal policies are frequently pushed, benefiting a select few global actors at the expense of the local population. These policies advocate for deregulation, privatization, and austerity measures. They often lead to increased inequality and social hardship. Local industries are frequently dismantled as a direct result of these imposed policies. Unable to compete with subsidized foreign corporations or facing new regulatory hurdles, domestic businesses collapse. This leads to job losses and economic stagnation. Markets are open to foreign competition, often disadvantaging local businesses that cannot compete on an uneven playing field. This influx of foreign goods and services can decimate nascent industries. It prevents the development of a robust domestic economy. Essential services such as water, electricity, healthcare, and education are privatized. This impacts public access and affordability, as profit motives often supersede public welfare. The most vulnerable populations suffer disproportionately from these changes. Nations face economic exhaustion and a profound loss of national sovereignty. Their resources are diverted to debt repayment, leaving little for public investment or social programs. Their ability to chart an independent course is severely compromised. Social instability often arises from these intense economic pressures. Rising unemployment, inequality, and reduced public services fuel public discontent and unrest. This can lead to political turmoil and even violent conflict. Multinational corporations exploit the nation's natural resources and markets with little regard for environmental or social consequences. They extract raw materials, often at undervalued prices, and dominate consumer markets. This further depletes national wealth. These corporations enrich themselves immensely at the expense of the host country. Profits are repatriated, leaving little behind for local development or reinvestment. This creates a continuous outflow of wealth from the developing world. The entire system is accurately labeled as economic hitman tactics, a term coined by John Perkins himself. It describes a sophisticated form of economic warfare, waged not with bombs but with balance sheets and loan agreements. It is a silent yet devastating assault on national independence. It involves manipulative financial practices designed to ensnare nations in inescapable debt. These practices are coupled with intense political pressure, ensuring compliance with the creditor's demands. The combination is incredibly potent and difficult to resist. Sometimes, when economic and political pressures fail, covert operations are employed to maintain control. These can range from political destabilization to supporting coups against uncooperative leaders. The stakes are incredibly high for those who resist. The ultimate goal is clear: to keep these nations perpetually indebted and dependent. This prevents genuine economic independence, ensuring continued access to their resources and markets. It is a modern form of colonialism, disguised as development. This analysis aims to raise critical awareness about the inherent risks of unregulated debt and the insidious erosion of economic autonomy. Understanding these mechanisms is the first step towards challenging them. We must look beyond the surface narratives. We urge a critical examination of the global economic system as it currently operates. It is imperative to question the motives behind international aid and development initiatives. Who truly benefits from these arrangements? For students, economists, activists, and the general public, this understanding is crucial. It empowers us to advocate for more equitable and just global economic policies. We must demand transparency and accountability from powerful institutions. Only through informed discussion and collective action can we hope to dismantle the structures that perpetuate this cycle of control and drainage. The future of global economic justice depends on our willingness to confront these uncomfortable truths.